John Paxson shot dramatically into the '93 finals. Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls' place in NBA history was secured, and Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns were but second best. Since then, 2 seasons have passed, humbly for Jordan and agonizingly for Barkley, still without a ring. This season, Michael's Bulls are back in the biggest of ways. Does Charles's bunch have another championship run in them? They're nearly restored to full health. Or is the sun setting on this Phoenix team? Well, after an undefeated January, the Chicago Bulls finally showed some mortality 2 nights ago in Denver. But the fascination with them and their nightly entertainment spectacle rolls into Phoenix for its only appearance of the year. Smiles abound for young and old alike tonight at America West Arena, sold out again as the Chicago Bulls make their only visit of the season to the Valley of the Sun. Good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. Welcome to Phoenix. So there was Chicago in Denver on Sunday night. They'd won 18 in a row, 9 in a row on the road. They were in Denver, and they got hit by a blizzard. Down 31 in the first half. They came back to lead, wound up losing only their 4th of the season, so now they're only an average 41-4. I'm joined, as always, by Danny Ainge. Danny, what does this little hiccup do to the Chicago Bulls?
Well, I don't think it does anything to Chicago, Vern, but Phoenix was rooting for Chicago to win. They wanted them to come in with a 19-game winning streak. Now the Hornets' nest has been stirred up. Chicago still wants to win 70 games. They certainly want to win a championship, but if they win 70 games, they'll be known as one of the elite teams in NBA history. And believe it or not, Vern, that's what they want, and so they'll be ready to go tonight.
Everyone thought at the beginning of this year Phoenix was going to be an elite team this season. They have had trouble, but they're righting the ship. They come back from a grueling road trip, 5 wins, 3 defeats, and they have Danny Manning back after a year out. You were at the practice when he went down with the torn knee last year.
Oh,
had to be terrible.
Oh, Vern, that was awful. Danny Manning goes down yelling, I tore my knee out, I tore my knee out. He knew right away. I sat in the corner of the gym shivering and trembling for Danny Manning, knowing that our championship hopes had gone down the tubes. But they got him back now. He's a lot like Magic for the Lakers in that he has great leadership, the most intelligent player on the team, provides scoring, inside passing, all the intangibles. They're thrilled to death. The people in Phoenix are very happy to have Danny Manning back.
Well, Phoenix comes in 20-24. The Bulls, as you know, 41-4. Any number of fascinating matchups tonight, but perhaps the one we really want to watch, a guy named Rodman and a guy named Barkley. And as usual, Charles has his own spin.
What I try to do early, just hit him really hard, and he normally cuts it out. I think he knows who he can mess with and who he cannot mess with. So I just try to be real physical. If he does something I don't like, I just try to hit him with a good body shot and knock the wind out of him, and he normally calms down.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Accent, Elantra, and Sonata from Hyundai. Some of the best ideas on the road. By Nestle Crunch, sponsor of the 1996 Nestle Crunch Slam Dunk. By the more than 1,200 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by AT&T.
Sun setting in Phoenix as we bring you NBA on TNT on a Tuesday night. And a fascinating matchup between the Suns and the Bulls. The matchup, Pippen and Finley. Rodman goes up against Barkley. In the middle, Wennington gets his 5th start of the season. Hot Rod Williams, Jordan in person, and Harper and Kevin Johnson. Right now, let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Vern, last season was not Chicago, but Phoenix that had the best record in the league. But a year ago to this day, Danny Manning suffered a torn anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee, and the Suns were never the same. He has made a remarkable comeback. This is his home opener, and regardless of stats, the Suns will rely on his leadership.
Try to go out there and make sure that we're all in our right spots and we know who's going to make the right rotation, or if someone has a hot hand, make sure that everyone out on the court knows it. That's just the way I was brought up. Junior high, high school, I played on a lot of talented teams. And we played team basketball, and you know, that's how I was brought up, and that's how I think the game should be played.
Hey, Vern, Danny Manning is one of the smartest players in the NBA today. He grew up a coach's son, as he mentioned. He really understands the game. He has a point guard's mentality from the big forward position or small forward position. A very valuable player to this Phoenix Suns team. They've missed it all year. I think it's going to translate into a huge second half for them.
This will be his third game since returning from the torn ACL on his right knee. The second torn ACL he suffered in his career. Coming back from that alone is amazing. And we expect to see Danny about 25 minutes tonight. Michael Jordan exploded in the third quarter in Denver the other night. He got 22 of his game-high 39 to lead that comeback. Dennis Rodman will go up against Charles Barkley in the featured pairing tonight. And Scottie Pippen had 30 in the win over Los Angeles on Friday, but only a dozen, and he was 2 of 9 from three-point range in the loss to Denver on Sunday. John Hot Rod Williams in the middle. The officials tonight: Dick Bavetta, Ted Bernhardt, and Tommy Wood. And the 245 straight sellout in Phoenix, the 145th here at America West Arena.
I think one interesting point to start out before this game, Cotton was telling us this morning he's going to start KJ on Ron Harper instead of Michael Jordan. KJ did a good job on Jordan in Chicago, but was only 2 for 14 from the field.
Cotton Fitzsimmons replaced Paul Westphal January 17th. His third stint as the head coach of the Suns. First was in 70 to 72. Loose ball picked up by Michael Finley into the hands of Hot Rod Williams. Suns won on the road in Washington in overtime to complete a 5-3 road trip, during which they won their 5 games by an average of 16 points per game. Here's Barkley. Rebound Pippen. Ron Harper follows Rodman down the court. They'll go into the half-court set. Looks for Wennington underneath. Jordan hands it off to Scottie Pippen. Nicely done.
Well, that's beautiful execution of their triangle offense. Hot Rod Williams is supposed to be there to help, but you can tell Hot Rod's not 100%, Vern. He didn't even jump center. At 6'11", they had the 6'4" Charles Barkley jumping center. That is a good indication that he's not healthy.
Hot Rod Williams missed 5 with continuing nerve damage. Here's Williams driving. Missed it. Loose ball in the hand of Rodman.
And he's been doing that too, Vern. Not to pick on Hot Rod tonight, but he's not 100%. I walked with him in the arena today. He said he's more like 60 or 70%. And those first 2 plays are indicative of how he's been playing all year.
Rodman gives it off to Pippen. 9 on the shot clock. Bill Wennington finds Ron Harper. Cutting across, rebound to Kevin Johnson. Michael Finley at the other end. And Rodman gets his second board.
That was a beautiful shot blocked by Ron Harper, hustling down. He missed the post-up on KJ and was able to get back and stop Finley on the break.
Wennington has it knocked out of bounds by Charles Barkley. Luke Longley sitting on the injured list with a strained knee and will be out until after the All-Star break. Barkley had 31 points, 15 rebounds in that OT win over the Bullets. Jordan, first shot.
Oh, man. That was such an incredible shot. Michael Finley was right on it. Was actually higher than Michael, had elevated ahead of him. Michael just hung in the air. He shot it on the way down.
Underneath, Barkley gets 2.
Well, that was great execution. Cotton spent a lot of time in the shoot-around preparing for that defense. Rolls pushing at baseline, and the first time they get a lay-in on it.
Danny, that was more than a shoot-around this morning. They had a rather arduous practice, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They practiced for an hour and a half. All the players worked up a sweat. That's a lot different from the old Phoenix Suns day, where guys showed up with sandals and boots for shoot-around.
Wennington, here's the alley-oop from KJ to Barkley.
And Cotton's feeling good right now because those are 2 things that he said would be open in the Chicago series. The way they defended him last time. They worked on him again this morning. Sure enough, they get 2 easy lay-ins to start the game.
Finley on Jordan. Jordan over Finley for 2 more.
That's good defense by Michael Finley. You have to live and die with Michael's jump shot. If he's hitting, it could be a long night for the rookie who grew up in Chicago idolizing Michael.
Matter of fact, he won a contest and got to go one-on-one against Michael when he was a senior at Proviso East in Maywood, Illinois. Jordan won.
And he didn't even tell his mother.
Right.
so Bertha, we hope you're watching, and we hope he told you that he's playing here.
Stoba seems appropriate for Phoenix. Rodman with the pass. And the steal, Pippen for 2 more.
Well, I think you need to blame that on KJ because Pippen was denying KJ the ball, and I don't think Pippen can if KJ works to get open. Person let the guy come from behind. Ron Harper made a good defensive play. Excellent play.
22nd timeout now for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, Ron Harper knocked that ball loose and left Pippen wide open. Beautiful play by Harper. Here Rodman's helping on KJ to drive baseline. KJ makes an excellent feed. Again, they worked on that all morning, and they worked on that and worked on that. And when Rodman goes to help on KJ, Barkley's going to the hoop looking for the rim. So Rodman's got his hands full already.
Cotton Fitzsimmons upset with the inbounds attempt. Chicago hitting 6 of 7 to start the game. And Rodman with an early start, quick start off the board.
Well, there's Dennis Rodman, and I asked Charles, you think Rodman got snubbed from the All-Star team, and he said, he's overrated. All he can do is rebound. He can't score, and he can't guard anybody, and I'll show you tonight. So we'll see. Charles off to a good start.
8:38 to go first quarter, 12-4. Suns are only 2 of 6 from the field, 33%. Barkley establishes the low post. Rodman's laughing with him. He threw Ron Harper out of the way.
Well, this is a funny matchup. You're talking about 2 of the better personalities in the low post right here. They're going to bump, and they're both great actors. And we're going to see a lot of acting and a lot of begging from the officials on these 2 guys' part before this night's over.
Here's Barkley. Where's Madonna? She's in Argentina, isn't she?
I don't know. I think Dennis Rodman might be a better actor.
And the defense inside.
Well, they got 3 seconds. Barkley is determined to have a good game against Rodman. They double-teamed him, but Michael Finley was in trying to get the rebound, thinking Charles was going to shoot.
Wesley Person guards Pippen. That's knocked out of bounds. And a rare turnover for Chicago. They had only 7 turnovers despite losing to Denver on Sunday night. Here's KJ off the dribble. Barkley backs in, and Michael Jordan gets called for the foul. His first. Everybody's smiling tonight, Danny.
Well, Charles brings that out in everybody. He's a loose player out there, and he's always talking, saying funny things out on the court. And he made Mile and Dennis Rodman smile already in this game.
There's a near steal by Michael Jordan. He's 4th in the league in steals, and he takes it away from Finley. Ron Harper almost lost control of the ball. It's a 10-point lead and an 8-0 run.
Well, and that's why Michael Jordan, in my opinion, is the best player of all time because, offensively, you take Magic and Bird and those kind of players, and they're all right there. But what Michael can do defensively, take over a game, is what separates him and makes him one of the best.
Barkley ends the run with the dunk.
Chicago needs to make a defensive adjustment on how they're defending that pick and roll. They've given up 3 lay-ins to Barkley on the pick and roll defense.
Barkley has all 6 Phoenix points, and it's an 8-point deficit. Here's Rodman. Little triple post. Wennington. Bill had 18 points despite the loss, and he said he shot 21 times. He couldn't remember the last time he took 21 shots in a game.
And his elbow was hurting him this morning, and he said he was going to ice it all day to get it ready. He was hoping he got 21 shots again tonight.
Chicago 8 of 9 from the field. Let's go back and take a look at Michael Jordan defensively, Dan.
Well, Vern, right here, this is their perimeter defense. And KJ's going to go down and set a pick on Michael Finley and switch out on Michael Finley to deny right here. This is the communication, him and Scottie Pippen. They're interchangeable. He knocks the ball loose. Finley runs it down. Michael doesn't give up. He comes in from behind and knocks the ball loose. Harper takes the ball up the court for the easy 2. Never gives up on that perimeter defense, and they got great finishers on the break in Pippen, Jordan, and Harper, as good as any 3 in basketball.
Michael Jordan with 102 steals now for the season. He's 4th in the league in steals. Gary Payton leads that list. Mookie Blaylock is 2nd.
But Vern, Michael's one of those guys who not only gets a lot of steals, but he plays great defense and very smart defense. He doesn't go for a lot of steals.
Barkley backing in on Rodman. Double comes from Wennington. Barkley has 8 points now.
And he's determined. He told me, he said, Dennis Rodman cannot guard me, and I'll prove it tonight.
At the other end, here's Harper. KJ backs off him. Michael Jordan takes it off the dribble over Finley. Skip pass to Ron Harper. And 3-second violation on Dennis Rodman. Harper guards him. Now Barkley. A little isolation for Charles. Wennington with the double. There's the pass. And the rejection by Rodman.
That's a beautiful play. They need somebody to make them pay when they're double teaming, and they're going to double team off of Hot Rod Williams all night long if he doesn't make them pay.
Barkley gets the rebound. Here comes KJ. Johnson finds Hot Rod Williams. Back into the hands of Wesley Person. That was for 3. And Rodman cannot save it. It's out of bounds. Watch Rodman off the double team with the block shot a moment ago.
Well, here Wennington comes down to take it out of Charles' hand. And this is what I love about Rodman. Never gives up on the play. Goes and blocks Hot Rod's shot. That is great defense. That's why Dennis Rodman is a good defensive player, despite what Charles says about it.
Williams misses another. Rodman did not get credit for the rebound, so he'll be agitated.
Well, you got to catch him.
That's a euphemism. They look unsigned, rather, for Scottie Pippen. Here's Wennington. 5:29 to go first quarter. Jordan over Finley. Short. Stolen away by Harper. Puts it off the glass and in. Alert defense by Ron Harper.
Well, that was good hustle getting to the offensive board. He's got a big size advantage on KJ. KJ actually had pretty good position on him right there, but Ron Harper just long and athletic. Beat him to the ball.
Johnson in the lane. Nope. Rebound for Barkley. He averages 12 per game. Little loose elbow flying around. Almost got Harper in the head.
You can bet Charles is going to get a technical sometime tonight in the game.
And Rodman might.
Oh, yeah. They'll probably get double technicals or something. But Charles, you can tell, he's swinging the elbows. He's trying to intimidate. He's just a pussy cat in there, Vern.
Which one are you talking about?
Both of them. They're great actors, though.
Here's the inbound pass to Hot Rod Williams. We're under 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Oh, slashed by Michael Finley.
Wow, that's beautiful. And you can see the difference. Michael Finley able to finish over the big guys of Chicago where Hot Rod hasn't been able to yet.
Finley becomes the first son other than Barkley to score. Here's Ron Harper posting up. Wennington. Beautiful pass. Ron Harper to Bill Wennington.
Well, Hot Rod went over to double, and Charles didn't get involved in the rotation. That's Charles's man. He needed to pick up Wennington when Hot Rod went to double down at the low post.
Johnson to Hot Rod Williams. Wennington backs off of him. Williams is fouled. We'll go to the free throw line. Let's take a look at Harper on the baseline.
Well, I don't think they want to double this, but Hot Rod did. And when Hot Rod went to double, Charles needs to pick up the weak side cutter, and he does a bad job of rotation. Wennington gets an easy hoop. That's bad defensive execution, and that's what Cotton's talking about.
Steve Kerr has come on for Ron Harper now. Steve Kerr, who was a second-round draft pick of the Phoenix Suns back in 1988 after he finished his career at the University of Arizona.
You know, and he had a bad knee back in those days, Vern, and it took him a few years to find his niche in the league, and this is the perfect situation for him. He is probably the best three-point shooter in basketball. He is the leading guy in the history in three-point percentage.
Kerr guards Johnson after the inbound steal. Johnson tries to take Kerr off the dribble. Here comes the pick and roll. Hot Rod Williams. Johnson drives, and it's foul called by Michael Jordan. Nope. It was on Wennington. Beg your pardon.
KJ's not very happy. He thought he was trying to attempt that shot right there. And the refs said no, because I thought he did look for the shot once he heard the whistle. But it came out looking like a pass, even though he was trying to shoot it. Good persistence by KJ there. It wasn't open. He persisted and finally got to the basket and drew the foul.
Michael Finley inbounds to Charles Barkley. 4 minutes to go, opening quarter. These two teams met 10 days ago, Sunday afternoon. It was a very good ball game, well played. Underneath from Finley to Barkley. No. Williams, no. He can't buy one. 0 for 4 in that sequence.
Yeah, that's too bad. Hot Rod is really working hard. I feel for him. He's struggling right now. He's not 100%. But you got to give him credit for working in there. But they need him to finish. Not much interior defense, actually, by Chicago. They get 4 good, easy basket opportunities and just can't convert.
Foul was on Barkley. And now foul is on Finley.
Well, Michael Jordan's penetrating in. A lot of contact right there. Finds the easy feed. Oh, my goodness.
You can't take your eye off him, can you?
No, you can't.
22-12, 3:22 to go.
And that's exactly why, Vern, you also want to keep him shooting jumpers all night, because that's a very high percentage shot.
Well, take a look at Michael Jordan a moment ago as you hear the boos that are cascading down.
Right there, the double team's coming, and that's the cardinal sin. You can't let him go away from where your help is. And Michael Finley made a rookie mistake and let him beat him to the baseline.
In the meantime, that turnover accredited to John Hot Rod Williams, thus the cascade of boos. Here's Pippen. Rodman got it.
Once again, Charles is not involved in the rotation. He's got to defend the basket on the weak side. He let Rodman slip in, have an easy basket.
Largest lead of the game, 6 points off turnovers now. And it's a 12-point margin. Johnson, Finley takes it over Rodman and puts it in.
Well, Michael Finley's an excellent finisher. He's been struggling from the three-point line, so the Suns can't spread the floor like they would like to, but when you got a finisher like Michael Finley, he can make up for it by taking it into the interior of the defense.
Chicago calls time. They lead by 10. "11 games ago, Jerry Colangelo, general manager of the Suns, decided to make a change. He canned Paul Westphal, reinstated Cotton Fitzsimmons, his 3rd tour here. Danny, what changes have we seen?
Well, this is the big one right here. 17 to 6 three-point attempts since Cotton has taken over. And I believe this 6 needs to go up in order for them to be a good team. They need to be able to hit those three-pointers a little bit better. I do like the fact they're not emphasizing it, but they still need to be able to shoot it more.
It was just 1993. These two teams met in the NBA Finals. It went to Game 6. John Paxson hit that shot, 99-98. Tony Kukoc is on now, the 6th man for the Bulls. Actually, 7th tonight.
You had to bring up that
I
shot.
thought, I saw your personage in the video that we showed.
Yeah, I lost many nights' sleep on that three-point shot by Paxson.
Now, I was teasing John Paxson about that in the elevator at the hotel today, and he said, well, it only took me 13 years to get even with Danny Ainge. There was this coast-to-coast basket that some of us remember, BYU against Notre Dame, and I guess John was the guy guarding you?
Yeah, John was guarding me and and I had a tough night, but fortunately we won that game at the last second, and he did get me back big time.
Wayman Tisdale is in. John Hot Rod Williams will head to the bench. Boy, that has been a much-discussed trade here. He came from Cleveland after 9 years for Dan Marley, Antonio Lang, and a #1 draft choice. Kukoc off the dribble, and the foul was quickly called on Tisdale.
I think this matchup is huge with Tisdale.
It's Wesley Person.
With Tisdale and Kukoc, because Kukoc can't guard Tisdale on the low post, and Tisdale certainly can't guard Kukoc out on the perimeter. So we'll see who gets the best of that matchup and who goes to who the best.
Jordan guarded by Finley. Suns have 1 foul again. Excellent defense. Here's Wesley Person all the way. And how about the strip by Scottie Pippen?
Well, that was a good play by Wesley Person. Take it aggressively, try to draw the foul, but Scottie Pippen's excellent. Michael Finley has done a good job, except for the one baseline dunk. Good help by Tisdale, shutting him down, forcing the turnover.
Ball inbounded to Wesley Person. He's guarded by Jordan. And Jordan strips it away. Here come the Bulls running 4-on-3. Curve for 3.
Well, KJ was back in no man's land. He had to defend the dunk by Kukoc to give up the three by Kerr. That's a tough decision of which one you'd want to give up.
Kevin Johnson from the baseline at the other end. And it's an 11-point game with 95 seconds to go first quarter.
They really need KJ to hit those perimeter shots. He can get that shot anytime he wants on Kerr. And if he hits it, that opens up the rest of the game for everybody else.
Kukoc off the dribble. Rattles around and goes home.
Tisdale just cannot defend Kukoc on the perimeter. He ran out to contest the three. Kukoc can have his way on with Tisdale at that end.
Lead is 13.
Wayman does not guard anybody on the perimeter very good. And Tony Kukoc, this is his strength. Off the dribble, going to the basket. Barkley tries to help, but you can't help that close to the basket.
Well, you called that one.
Now Tisdale saying, hey, he's going to embarrass me on one end of the court. Give me the ball at the other end so I can embarrass him in the low post.
Johnson at the line where he's hitting 85% of the season.
I really feel that to defend Kukoc, a smaller guy does a better job. A Michael Finley or a Wesley Person would probably do a much better job. They don't post him up that much because they're posting up Pippen and Jordan. So it might be wise for Cotton, or he may go later in the game matching up a smaller guy on here.
Let's see what he does for the moment. He'll stay with Tisdale on Kukoc for right now. We're in the final 65 seconds, opening quarter. The lead, 11 for Chicago. Kerr, too strong. Rodman with a rebound. That's 5 for Dennis. Leading the league with an average of 14.8 per game. At 23, a season high Friday night against the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's Jordan. Finley's doing a pretty good job, isn't he?
That's beautiful defense by Michael Finley for the second time. You know, Vern, there's a lot of talk about best rookies in the NBA, and Damon Stoudemire's had a good year. There goes Charles. He gets his first technical foul. It didn't take as long as I thought. But Michael Finley has to be considered one of the best rookies. He's the best defensive player on the Suns. He's leading their team in a couple categories, but they put him on the toughest match night in and night out. And that goes unnoticed in the stat sheet, unlike Jerry Stackhouse and Damon Stoudemire, who are putting up better numbers offensively. Michael Finley, if he continues this stretch the second half of the year, then he has to be considered one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year.
Well, he's playing well, and Barkley's timing was something less than impeccable. After the turnover by Michael Jordan, Barkley gets tagged for the technical. So Kerr hits the free throw to make it a 30-18 game, and we'll go to the other end.
Well, we knew he was going to get a technical sometime. Now you just hope he doesn't get a second one and get ejected from the game, and that would give Phoenix no chance in this game.
Finley tries to inbound. Pippen denies him. He finally gets it into Wesley Person.
The problem with Charles right now, too, is he's playing against Dennis Rodman, one of the best antagonizers in basketball. And he can egg Charles. I mean, that's what he's great at. He may egg Charles on into another technical.
Lead is 10, 31 seconds to go. Kerr brings it up, guarded by Kevin Johnson. Now Kukoc. See if he takes Tisdale off the dribble. There he goes again. That could get really nasty.
That's a horrible matchup right now, and that's embarrassing for Wayman. And I don't know if you can allow Wayman to defend him. That's just not his game. It's not fair that Wayman has to go out there and try to defend that guy. Everybody in the arena right now knows that he can't do that.
And the foul puts Kukoc on the line.
That's just too easy.
Jason Cappy has come on for the Bulls and replaces Scottie Pippen. Kukoc.
I think they need to bring a quicker guy out to defend Kukoc, whether it's AC Green or Danny Manning. It'll be interesting how long he leaves Danny Manning on the bench.
Lead is 13.
Steve Kerr's doing a good job of containing KJ so far in this game. He's made KJ shoot over him.
Pump fake. Finley with a second to go off the glass. No good. Scottie Pippen, 6 points, 3 rebounds. He was perfect from the field. And he also tossed in 3 assists. Suns trail by 13 as we get set for the second quarter. America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, second quarter. As Chicago has come to town, let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Vern, Danny Manning has yet to play a minute. He's about to check into the game, but he has worked up quite a sweat. Since 2 minutes were gone in the first quarter, he went into the locker room and did sports-specific drills. A lot of stretching, a lot of running, even popped into the steam room. So when he enters the game here in the second quarter, he will have worked up a sweat and he's ready to go.
You know, Vern, that's one of his habits even before he got the knee injury. Last year, he would always be in the steam room trying to work up a sweat before we'd come out and play, but he was usually a starter then.
Danny Manning is on the floor. Here's Scottie Pippen with Kerr, Rodman, Tony Kukoc, and Ron Harper. Jordan gets the rest. They take Tisdale off the dribble, and Tisdale gets the rebound. Here comes Kevin Johnson. Pulls up, jumper, off the mark. Rodman chases down the rebound. He's got 7. A 13-point Chicago lead. Johnson, Barkley, Tisdale, Manning. Here's Kerr for 3. Rodman gets the offensive board. That one was easy.
That was just in the right place at the right time.
Here's Barkley for Phoenix. Back to Kevin Johnson. Tisdale. Ron Harper for the Bulls. One shot and out.
Well, the Phoenix has struggled a little bit, but Vern, 15 for 19 in the first quarter by Chicago. And the interior defense was the big reason. They got too many baskets on the drives, on the bad rotation by the interior players of Phoenix.
Scottie Pippen misses with the jump hook. Neither team has scored in this quarter. Here's Kevin Johnson.
Steve Kerr, an underrated defensive player, is doing a good job at keeping KJ in front of him to this point.
Johnson 1 of 3 thus far in the game. There's Rodman with the steal. Here comes Kerr. He's got Kukoc on the right side. And Kukoc takes the jumper. Got it.
Well, Wayman wasn't going to go out and be embarrassed by Kukoc again, so Kukoc shot the easy 18-foot shot. But right now, this is where the three-point or lack of three-point shooting by Suns hurt them. It's really easy to clog the paint and double-team players and still get back to recover because they don't have a good enough spacing. Guys aren't at the three-point line.
Another turnover. That's 7 already. Here's Rodman. And Kukoc is fouled underneath by Wesley Person. Take a look at Danny Manning on Kukoc.
Well, Danny Manning is a smart player. We talked about it. He knows that Tisdale is being abused by Kukoc on the perimeter. Manning comes over and helps out on the weak side.
Barkley chatting with Tisdale. And Kukoc misfires on the free throw.
Well, you wonder if Barkley now, who's a much quicker defender on the perimeter, will try to cover Kukoc and put Tisdale on the interior against Rodman and just try to keep him off the boards.
1 of 2 for Kukoc at the line. He scored the last 6 Chicago points. It's a 16-point lead. Hard to imagine the Chicago team was down by 31 in the second quarter at Denver on Sunday night.
See, right now, without the perimeter shooters on the court, they don't have any perimeter shooters in the game for Phoenix right now. And Chicago's a smart team. They're clogging the paint. KJ has nowhere to go. If he gets by Curry, he knows he's going to run into the interior, and they have nowhere to dish because the floor isn't spaced far enough.
Now, Cotton Fitzsimmons said to us this morning he has not given up on the three-point shot. He only thinks he has one legitimate three-point shooter on the team. And do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Finley started out shooting pretty good, but he's been in a horrible slump from the three-point line lately. Charles shoots him on occasion, but for the most part, he's on the interior. Person's the only pure shooter they have on the team.
Harper misses the jam. Phoenix ball.
You know, but the only 2 shots Chicago's missed, Vern, was a little 3-foot jump hook by Scottie and a dunk by Harper. That's not good defense by Phoenix.
Tisdale got it, and he'll shoot the free throw.
And he tortured Kukoc on the low post. No way can Kukoc guard Wayman Tisdale on the block.
This seems to be a saga of 2 guys who can't guard each other.
Right, and they're both kind of out of position. You know, Kukoc is not good at defending the low post. With Tisdale, one of the best low post players. Tisdale, we've seen, can't defend anybody on the perimeter, and they're both exploiting their weaknesses.
Pippen's going to rest. Jordan is back. Ron Harper's also down, and Jason Caffey is on. We expected a real high-scoring game tonight.
Well, they're not getting as many fast breaks as they'd like to, Vern. Chicago's been able to do it off of turnovers, but that's because both teams really want this game, and both teams are playing at a really high intensity. Chicago's just been able to get on the interior of the defense of Phoenix, and that's been the difference to this point.
Little mini run by Phoenix now. They've scored 5 to shave the lead to 11. Kukoc gives it back to Michael Jordan. Two teams scored 6 apiece while he sat. Kukoc, Barkley with a rebound. That's 4 for Charles.
And you see Barkley had Dennis Rodman in a little body slam hold right there.
And an offensive foul called on Danny Manning.
Danny Manning is one of the strongest post-up players in the league. He really fights hard. That is not a good call right there by the official. Good flop right there by Tony Kukoc. Charles is just pushing Rodman. Rodman's pushing Charles. Charles wins the battle that time.
Kukoc off the front rim. And here comes Kevin Johnson. Left side to Finley. Looks inside for Barkley. Almost got Jordan off the dribble that time. Tisdale. Nope. Barkley and Rodman. And Rodman's into the front seats. Finley will inbound to Phoenix.
I think they'll have Manning inbound. Danny Manning's the best passer on the team, and they'll have him try to find the open guy.
Now Tisdale is guarded by Rodman. Kick by Jordan. Fresh 24. Last 5, but here's Finley.
Oh, wow. He's beautiful at going to the basket. He's got to be one of my favorites in the slam dunk contest this week, Vern. He is an incredible athlete.
You'll see that Saturday night, and watch this move.
You know, right there, Michael's playing for the pass because he's not a good shooter. So he makes a ball fake and takes Michael right to the basket.
NBA is ready for the All-Star break in San Antonio this coming weekend, and a couple of first-timers. Terrell Brandon from Cleveland has made the All-Star squad. Jason Kidd will start for the West. And Juwan Howard, 3 first-timers on the list this year.
Well, Vern, they all belong there. They've all had excellent seasons. I'm really excited for Terrell Brandon. He's paid his dues. But Jason Kidd probably doesn't deserve to be a starter by the year that he's had, but he sure is one of the best players and upcoming stars in this league.
Speaking of stars, that was Jordan.
Well, when you're in a slump, when you're 1 for 8 from the field, haven't scored in 2 minutes, call timeout, get the ball to Michael.
Yeah, 1 of 8 after that 15 of 19 first quarter. Long rebound, Barkley gets it. Back into the hands of Danny Manning. Oh, beauty. What a pass from Manning to Barkley.
What a great rebound by Barkley. He was doing his Dennis Rodman imitation right there.
9-point game again. Largest lead to 16. Here's Kukoc. Nice, soft, long jumper. And Kukoc is in double figures with 10.
Well, Michael just gave him a pretty good earful during that last time out for shooting 2 perimeter 3-pointers and getting them out of the offense.
Loose ball, Finley. Over Rodman. Takes a 360 and drops through in the vicinity of Hong Kong.
And credit Danny Manning again. He knocked the ball loose into Finley's hands.
6:45 to go before halftime. Chicago 41-4. Here's Jordan off the feed from Rodman. No. Rodman and Barkley. Loose ball. Kevin Johnson. 2-on-3. Finley.
He's beautiful in the open court, Vern.
Lead is 7. Kern guarded by Johnson. Pick and roll. He fights through. Spots the open man, Kukoc. Barkley with a rebound over Rodman. Here's Tisdale. Too strong. Rodman with a rebound. That's 9 for Rodman. Jordan. Tisdale flies at him. Jason Caffey draws the foul. Danny Manning. It was a sun frenzy there for a moment.
Well, that's a beautiful rebound by Barkley, but Barkley's got to watch himself right now. He is yelling at the officials every time down the court. Rodman is doing an excellent job of antagonizing Michael Finley. Good loose ball. Danny Manning walks it away, and there's Michael Finley finishing it off again.
My goodness.
Manning was trying to guard this ball right there.
His spin there.
And the worst part is they got to take him out. The rookie's going, come on, someone else. Give me another jersey, Randy Brown or Judd Bushler. Give him their jersey, but they won't. He's a rookie.
Caffey got undressed. 5:44 to go before the break. Kukoc, Pippen, Jordan. Got it.
That's terrible defense. Terrible team defense. They got to make a decision. Tisdale cannot guard Kukoc.
He's picked up 12 points in 8 minutes on the floor. And it's back to a 9-point margin.
I think Cotton is looking to put AC Green in, see if he can do something. Still have the defensive presence on the boards. And have AC in there to cover Kukoc.
Kevin Johnson gets the shot to fall. He is fouled by Steve Kerr, so he'll have a chance for a conventional three-pointer. The old-fashioned way. And Tisdale is going to get a rest.
Well, Kevin, they really need Kevin to explode. One thing since Cotton's come back is Kevin has been healthy and is putting up better numbers. And Kevin feels more comfortable in Cotton's system and has said so publicly and is playing much better basketball.
You know, Kevin Johnson missed 20 games again this year. He has missed 100 games in the last 3 years, but he's only missed 9 games in that period after the All-Star game each year.
Right, and I think he's only missed 1 playoff game in those last 3 years.
Alley-oop. Beauty.
That's again, Charles needs to switch on that. Danny Manning got picked off, and Charles, they're same size. They need to switch that pick.
44-36. Here comes Steve Kerr. Kukoc. He's been on fire. Jordan as they let the ball go. Wow. It happened so quick, Danny, but it looked like Danny Manning backed away from the loose ball.
Yeah, I thought that Danny thought that Charles was going to get that. But he did a good job of acting. Drew another foul on Dennis Rodman. Rodman is not happy. But we got to keep an eye on this matchup. Charles has been cursing at the officials. He's already got 1 technical foul. He better be careful.
KJ pick and roll. Got the screen from AC Green. Third, the longest streak of consecutive games played in NBA history. Off the glass, Rodman, no, Barkley. And the foul is called on Scottie Pippen.
Charles is really working in this game. He wants this game bad. He is working his guts out, as are the entire Phoenix Suns team. I think, Vern, that they're just a little bit too easy to defend. Again, I keep harping on it. They don't have the outside shooting on the offense, and so it's making it very difficult for KJ and Charles to score inside.
Here's Manning, gets the inbound pass. Underneath, Barkley. Got it. Jordan went for the steal, didn't get it.
Beautiful execution, and they would not have made that play if Danny Manning had not been on the court. He's the best passer. They got him in the passing position, and he makes that play go.
Lead is 6, it was 16. Here's Kerr. In and out. Here comes Michael Finley. They don't have the numbers. Almost threw it away. KJ saves it, takes it, got it.
We'll see how long it takes Dennis to get his technical to get him evened up with Charles.
Well, he has something to say to Cotton Fitzsimmons on the way out. Ted Bernhardt, one of the officials. Now he's gestured to the crowd.
It's going to be tough for Ted to give anybody a technical foul after not giving Charles his second for what he said to him.
Rodman has only been ejected once this year. The lead is down to 3. Barkley comes out to help on Jordan. Bill Wennington for Chicago.
Good execution right there. Wennington can nail that shot. That's his specialty. That shot's been what's kept him in the league.
Wennington is 4 of 4. Barkley guarded now by Pippen as Rodman sits with 3 fouls. Barkley!
Well, Charles can score on Scottie if he can catch the ball. Scottie's had success in keeping the ball out of Charles' hands. When he catches it right there, Charles will overpower Scottie. The double team by Jordan was a terrible angle, and he allowed Charles to split Michael and Scottie.
Barkley with a chance for the 3. The lead is 2. With 3:15 to go before the break.
You got to give Danny Manning a lot of credit in this second quarter run. He's the only guy that's different on the court.
Kukoc stripped by Barkley, knocked out of bounds by Charles. And Chicago will throw it in.
AC Green is a better defender than Wayman Tisdale on the perimeter, but I still think it's a bad matchup, particularly since AC has been suffering from back spasms in the past few weeks.
Jordan flashes to the goal, takes the shot and is fouled. What would you do there? Would you put Manning on him?
No, I may put a guard on him.
Really?
I may put KJ or go with a small lineup, go with 4 guards and Charles. Then you have to wonder about the rebounding, but Rodman's out of the game. You're matching up with Finley on Jordan and Manning on Pippen. I think a small player, I think a guard can defend Tony Kukoc better than a forward on this Phoenix Suns team.
Michael Jordan has had a very quiet first half. He's got 9 points now, 4 assists. Had that explosion for 39, including a 22-point third quarter, despite the loss in Denver the other night.
Nobody to get open. It's the same thing. They're not denying enough. The Suns have got to work to get open. KJ has got to make sure that they get the ball to him on those half-court tracks.
A spirited second quarter by the Phoenix Suns. They've cut the Bulls' lead down to 4. Jason Caffey was playing very well in the second quarter until he got his jersey literally ripped off of his back. What's he use Jason Caffey jersey worth? Well, if it's supply and demand a lot, because it's the only one they have. These are the black uniforms, the ones that the Bulls rarely wear. They do not have another Jason Caffey. So if he goes back into the game, he has to wear number 52, which he has on right now, and he does want to get back in.
I think that is the best way to defend the Bulls then tonight. If they don't have spare jerseys, I'd rip number 23 off.
And then go to number 33.
That's right.
And then go to 91.
Hey, you can eliminate half their team that way.
It'll teach them to try and market the black jerseys. Jason Caffey.
Michael might have 45 waiting in the locker room.
I think there's a darn good chance.
I think they have some extra 23s and 33s up in the pro shops.
2:54 to go before the halftime break. Whistle, foul away from the ball. Well, we got a Wednesday doubleheader for you on TBS tomorrow night. We'll tip it off at 8 o'clock with the Orlando Magic and the Detroit Pistons. That's game 1. And follow that up with the New Jersey Nets out against Magic and the Lakers in game 2. Doubleheader begins Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern time on TBS.
Hey, did you see Magic against Utah the other night? He was back to his old self. 21 points, 7 assists, 6 boards. Magic looked good. I watched that game, Vernon. That's the Magic that I think we're going to see the second half of the year.
I had a heck of a trifecta up there in Steamboat Springs. I watched Gulliver's Travels, the last of the Chicago-Denver games, and the last of the Laker and Utah game, and then shoveled snow.
Gulliver's Travel, he's a pretty big guy. Someone could use him as a backup center.
Did you watch that? See that? You and the family? It's pretty good.
Oh, he plays at Washington, doesn't he? 7'7" Murasan.
Right.
I think he'll be in the movies before his career's over.
Miss on the free throw. 2:45 to go before halftime. 48-44. Dickey Simpkins, number 8. Harper, Wennington. Here's Pippen. Michael Jordan. Again, Finley on him. There's Jordan over Finley. In and out. AC Green.
Well, Dickie Simpkins all of a sudden makes a great matchup for AC. AC can match up with him very well. He's not a scorer on the inside, and he's not really a scorer anywhere.
Johnson misses from outside. But Barkley's got it for the Suns.
Hey, Barkley's having a great first half, Vern, but he hasn't been out yet. I wonder how him and KJ are going to react with all these minutes in the first half. They've expended a whole lot of energy.
Barkley gets it and kisses the glass. The lead is 2 with 2 to go. The Suns led by, or rather trailed by 13 at the quarter. Here's Pippen. No. Manning. Barkley controls it. And a chance to tie. It would be the first tie in the game. Suns have never led. Barkley. The double comes. Got it for time.
Well, we talked about Michael Finley making a mistake where the double team came off of Charles, and that time Simpkins made the same mistake. He let Charles go away from the double team.
From the corner, Wennington got it. And that'll put them back in their seats.
I think that guy shot about 5,000 of those in his career. That's the only shot he ever shoots.
He's perfect tonight, 5 for 5 for Bill Wennington. In double figures for the 4th consecutive game. Manning, fronted by Scottie Pippen, who gets the steal. 2-on-2. Jordan pulls up and takes it. No. Good position by AC Green. And here come the Suns again. Danny Manning. Nope.
That's all right. That's a 2-for-1 situation. Not the best shot you want out of Danny Manning, but they needed to get a quick shot.
Jordan misses again. Barkley with a rebound.
Well, ever since Michael went out of the game, he hasn't come back in with any sort of offensive firepower, but Finley's done an excellent job on him.
Jordan has missed his last 5. He's 4 of 11. Johnson. That should be goaltending.
Oh, Bernhardt's going to take it away. He's called a foul before the shot. I don't think so, Vern. I think he got hit on his last dribble.
Wow.
The whistle blew after he picked the ball up.
The basket has been taken away, and AC Green is going to the line. No. AC was at the line. I can't figure that out.
AC's telling Ted, he's saying, well, if you're not going to count the basket, the foul must have been on me. Let me shoot him. Because if it was on KJ, that means that he deserved the hoop.
Reebok halftime report coming up. Scores and highlights. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller back in Atlanta. Kukoc replaces Simpkins as Johnson gets the first free throw. He's perfect tonight from the line. Only 3 of 7 from the field. We're tied at 50. Pippen.
He had a foul again. Good play. Simpkins can't guard Barkley. If Rodman can't guard him, Simpkins surely can. They had the double team coming from the top, and he gets beat baseline. Wennington never is a factor, totally taken out of the play. Beautiful move by Charles.
Back to live action now, the inbound pass. Kukoc harassed, lets it go. The tip, no. Charles Barkley, perfect from the field, led the Resurgence Suns with a comeback. They were down by 16 at 36-20. We go to break with the score 50-50. Back to Atlanta after this.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Come see how the game is played on Planet Reebok.
Chances are better than 50-50 that we're in for a heck of a second half in America West. Phoenix was down by 16. They rallied to tie it up. Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller in Atlanta. We welcome you to the Reebok Halftime Report. And we began this night talking about the Charles Barkley matchup with the Worm, Dennis Rodman. Let's take a look. Rodman, typical line in the first half, 2 points, 9 boards, 19 points for Charles Barkley, Cheryl.
Barkley, absolutely incredible, moving without the ball, but Rodman commits a cardinal sin, loses sight of his player. Now watch Charles Barkley down on the post. He throws the ball back out, but he's just going to stand there and watch the shot. Doesn't even contest for the rebound, and then, of course, it's going to lead to a Scottie Pippen jam. But, hey, if you're on the boards and you're not going to go to it, you have to at least contest Rodman. Otherwise, he's going to be cherry-picking and throwing the passes all night long.
Now, we also talked earlier about Charles Barkley getting up for a game when the Worm is going to be checking him. And it's just he has willed the Phoenix Suns back into this game.
Well, not only has Charles done that, I'll tell you something. I just like the way that this team is playing right now. With Danny Manning coming back, once he's healthy, completely healthy, has his lungs back and everything, I'll tell you, this Sun team is going to be extremely tough to beat.
Yeah, they can be very scary in the playoffs if they get that 6, 7, or 8. Somebody's going to be scared. It's a 50-50 game at halftime. Now, just for fun, folks, let's assume the Bulls win 70 games this year and lose 12. That means they've already clinched the top spot in the Eastern Conference because their closest pursuer, Orlando, has already lost 13. Safe to say Brian Hill isn't assuming anything at this point as the Magic continue their chase with the Sacramento Kings in town. And off the offensive board, Olden Polynice doing some work against the Magic. Kings on top by 4. Donald Royal's got Penny in front of him. Mrs. Penny, man, you already got 17 and a half. Let me get my pair. Brian Grant leading Sacramento with 10 points in the first half. In the paint, he goes for 2. Now watch Shaquille O'Neal. The ball handling makes like Penny Hardaway. Then he makes like Greg Kite. Oh, my. Penny, as we said, 17, an acrobatic deuce. They were up by 9 at the half. They are in the third period at the Arena, where Orlando is 24-0 this year. It is 79-66 as they lead the Kings. The San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets at the Hive. Bob Hill's guys coming off that overtime loss in Orlando on Sunday. And they hit the Hornets with a 20-0 run in the first quarter. David for 2 of his 12. He also had 9 boards. Glenn Rice, no. Move in a little bit, Glenn. That, no. And let's get a little closer, Elgin, no. 8 out of 23 field goals in the first quarter for the Hornets. Nothing to it, Sean Elliott. He had 11 and a half. The Spurs were on top 24-6 at that point. It was a 14-point game after 1, a 10-point game at the half, and now it is a 10-point game in the third period. San Antonio with the lead 72-62 over Charlotte. We're making tracks for San Antonio for All-Star Weekend. We'll take you to the NBA Jam session, do a little Friday night partying, and then it's All-Star Saturday night with the rookie game, the three-point shootout, the slam dunk contest, and the $1 million shot. And when the Reebok Halftime Report continues, the Magic Show hits Denver. We got a little magic going on in America West to a 50-50 game as the Suns have come back behind Charles Barkley after being down 16. We got a dandy going on in America West. Chicago and Phoenix all knotted up at 50 as the Reebok Halftime Report continues. For Earvin Magic Johnson, the Lakers' schedule is comeback friendly. 7 out of 8 games at home leading up to and following the All-Star break. That lone journey away from the Forum tonight against the Nuggets at McNichols Arena. I think it's early there. 2-2. The Lakers and the Nuggets. And I tell you something, McNichols has been the place to be lately. Have you noticed what's been going on at that building high in the Rockies? Well, on Saturday, the Avalanche beat the Rangers. That was their first loss in 1996. The Bulls, their first loss in 96 as the Nuggets snapped their streak. And then last night, Patrick Waugh facing his old teammates, the Canadians. The Avalanche beat them 4-2. And if you're wondering what else is coming up at McNichols, March 29th, Michael W. Smith, the contemporary Christian performer, he'll be performing on March 29th. And on June 29th, it's the Campbell Soup Stars on Ice. Make your plans now for McNichols Arena.
Is there no end to your knowledge? That's all. Is there no end?
Yes, there is a definite end. How about your knowledge of Magic and the comeback now? And I think we'll see something with back-to-back games. He's on the road in Denver tonight, then he's on TBS against New Jersey, the conditioning aspect.
Well, if it was any other place, I would say that his comeback is going to be spectacular. But I'll tell you something. Having played on the Olympic team and played on the national teams, especially at Colorado Springs where the altitude is so high, in the best shape, I felt like I was going to cough up a lung. So I expect him to, have some difficulties coming back. He had a great game against the Utah Jazz, but I really foresee a lot of substitutions for the Magic Man.
Certainly, I can relate to your Olympic experience as well. If it seems like the Boston Celtics have had a bunch of tight games, They have. In fact, 18 of them have been decided by 5 points or less. That's the most in the Eastern Conference. Coming off a 1-point win at Miami Saturday, the C's move on to Cleveland tonight and promptly score 13 points in the first quarter. Cleveland in control of this thing. Bobby Phills to Terrell Brandon for 2 of his 11 in the first half. And then it's the rook, Bob Sura. The baseline drive. And a reverse off the window. Cleveland on top of this thing, 68-51 as they are in the fourth quarter. Bobby Phills has 19 points. Dallas and Milwaukee playing at Bradley Center tonight. Jason Kidd didn't play at Bradley last year in his rookie season because he had the flu. He has left this game with a bad back. We'll keep you posted on that. And Dick Motta has his fingers crossed. The Bucks are drilling the Mavs 47-26. Later on tonight, hey, I'd buy a ticket to this bad boy. The Houston Rockets and the Sonics completing their home and home. It was the Sonics in OT over the weekend over the Rockets at the Summit. Here on TNT tonight, it is a 50-50 game. The Bulls, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen teaming up for a big lead early, but it's vanished.
Beautiful city of Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun, America West Arena filled to capacity for an early starting game tonight. Smiles at the beginning of the game and smiles throughout, particularly from Charles Barkley, who helped the resurgent Suns back to a 50-50 tie at halftime. They were down by 16 at one point. Moments ago, Craig Sager talked with Cotton Fitzsimmons.
A viewer's delight, a tie score in a playoff atmosphere. Coach Cotton Fitzsimmons, after laying it all on the line, particularly Charles Barkley, does he have anything left in the second half?
Oh, he'll have some left. I'll try to get him a little rest. I'll also start Danny Manning in the third quarter. He won't play long because I don't want to play him that many minutes because I want him available for the fourth quarter. So we'll shake it up a little bit here at halftime.
What about your defensive rotations? Try to work on that in the second half?
Well, I think so, but I was happy. Hey, you hold the Bulls to 17 points second quarter. We rotated something right.
Good job, Kate.
All right, they did do something right, and so did Charles Barkley. Right?
Yeah, Charles Barkley always, we talked about it last week, Bert, how he gets excited to play against Michael. And not only that, but Dennis Rodman excites him, as we saw before the game as well.
You know, I've been watching you here, sitting right next to you. Any chance you're going to get out there before it's over?
Oh, man, I'd like to, Bert. I'd love to be out there.
Here's Charles Barkley tonight. Rodman, 6 of 8, 12 points. When Rodman was guarding him, Pippen, he was 1 of 1. And Simpkins 2 of 2.
And he had his own way. He started out the game on that pick and roll defense that was so effective. In the second half, he took whoever was at him. He was determined to prove that Dennis Rodman couldn't guard him in this game, Vern. Before the game ever started, he said, he's overrated. I can score on him.
Well, Dennis Rodman picked up his 3rd foul with about 6 to go in the half and sat for quite some time. Tony Kukoc off the bench victimized Wayman Tisdale for 12 points. Michael Jordan, very quiet, 10 points. Scottie Pippen chipped in with 8 points. Bill Wennington was perfect from the field, 5 for 5. And to complement the good game he had the other night. But Barkley was a real story for Phoenix. 9 of 11 from the fields, 9 rebounds, 7 of them came in the second quarter, playing with a purpose in that second quarter.
Yes, and he limited Dennis Rodman to only 2 offensive rebounds. Charles had a bad first quarter defensively, though, allowing some easy baskets, failing to rotate. The second quarter, they picked it up when Danny Manning came in. And Danny Manning, they're starting at center this second half along with A.C. Green.
Wennington gives it back to Ron Harper. He's picked up by Kay Johnson. Here's Rodman. Finds Jordan. And the shot's not there. Harper battling for it. Wennington comes out with it. Got it away from A.C. Green. And the foul is called on the baseline by Kevin Johnson on Ron Harper.
That was a good pass by Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is an underrated passer. Everyone thinks he's strictly a rebounder, but he's got a good feel for the game, a very intelligent player. Good passer. He had a triple-double just a couple weeks ago, his first of his career with 10 assists. And that's pretty amazing when you don't get the ball that often.
Yeah, that happened in Philadelphia. He had 10 points, 10 assists, and 21 rebounds. Ron Harper gets the first of 2 free throw attempts. Chicago has never trailed in this game. They were up by as many as 16 at 36-20, and they're back to a 2-point margin now with 11:25 to go, third quarter. Check the lineups for you. Johnson, Green, Manning, Barkley, and Finley on the floor for Phoenix. Here's Manning, guarded by Pippen. Takes it over him, short with a shot.
Chases down the loose ball to Scottie Pippen.
Well, that's the one weak part of Danny Manning's game is his outside shooting that he needs to get better for him to be a superstar type of player. When he learns to shoot that outside shot or does it consistently, the Suns will be very tough to beat.
In and out for Ron Harper, and Barkley has his 10th rebound. Kevin Johnson finds Finley flying at the basket.
Well, that's the advantage of having a guy like Danny Manning and Charles Barkley in the backcourt. When they get the rebounds, they can push it up. KJ caught it on the wing, had the open shot. Very unselfishly found Michael Finley for the dunk.
Here's Michael Jordan. Finds Scottie Pippen, takes the shot short. Barkley's got the rebound, that's 11. Takes it on the dribble. Underneath, beautiful pass, but it's knocked away by Harper. Out of bounds off Ron Harper. Or Rodman, rather.
Yeah, right here, Danny Manning, this is another smart player. He's the most fundamentally sound player on this Phoenix Suns team. He box out. Rodman does a good job, but Charles just gets the easy rebound because of Manning's box out.
See how many minutes Manning gets in this quarter. Here's Kevin Johnson, guarded by Michael Jordan. Johnson, 3 of 7 from the field tonight. He was 2 of 14 the first time these two teams met. Shot too strong. Rodman with a rebound. He's got 10 now.
That was good defense by Michael Jordan on KJ. One of the toughest guys to defend one-on-one on the perimeter is Kevin Johnson.
Pippen has it blocked by Finley.
Oh, my gosh.
Michael Finley with a defensive gem. And a chance for Phoenix to take its first lead of the ball game. No. Weddington with a rebound.
What do you think Jerry Krause is saying right now? He said they had a chance to draft Michael Finley. Now, Kathy's going to be a fine player and a good player, but they could have had Michael Finley, and he would have fit right in with Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan as they're getting up there in age.
Michael Finley, the 21st pick in the draft last year. Weddington finally misses. That's his first miss after 5 in a row.
Plus, Michael Finley grew up in Chicago, a big Bulls fan. Would have been a natural selection.
High school team with Sherelle Ford and Donnie Boyce, all 3. Major collegiate players, all 3 drafted. They won the state title in 1991.
Donnie Boyce was a second-round pick, but he would have been a first-round pick had he not hurt his leg and broke his leg at the University of Colorado.
Rodman with another rebound. Underneath to Weddington. Bill's getting used to this floor time.
Well, that was a little bit different shot, finally. I haven't seen him take a different shot. That was at least a little fadeaway at the basket.
Here's Finley. Almost loses it. Picked up by A.C. Green. Barkley calls for it. Takes it off Rodman. Drives, got it. Shoot the free throws.
And did Rodman get the foul? Did he draw the contact from Rodman?
If so, it's his 4th.
No. They call it on the backup center, Whittington, even though he's a starter now. In the referee's eyes, he's still a backup. Charles does a good job faking on the 3. Rodman just gets out of the way. Doesn't want to pick up his 4th foul. He wants to lead the league in rebounds. He can't get a 4th foul.
Weddington does get his 4th foul.
Watch out, let's go deep.
And Bill Jackson is not making a move. Barkley with a chance to give Phoenix its first lead tonight. They can't get it.
You know, it's amazing. Phoenix has 54 points in this game tied. I don't think they've made a shot outside of 15 feet.
Finley way up in the air, loses the ball. Gets it back as well. Barkley got it. As Weddington misses on the shot. 13 rebounds for Barkley. Johnson. He'll shoot free throws. I'm betting on KJ.
Hey, we haven't seen one bit of a letdown from Charles or KJ. A little concerned at halftime with all the minutes that they played, but they came out with even more energy in the second half.
Barkley won't get out of his face. KJ wants him to calm down so he can shoot a couple.
Charles is fired up. Charles wants this game really bad. He's trying to get this crowd, he's trying to get the whole Phoenix Suns community back behind this team, showing everybody in basketball world that the Suns are back and they're going to be contenders. How would you like to play this Phoenix Suns team as a 7 or 8 seed, Vern?
If the playoffs were to start tonight, Phoenix would not be among the chosen.
They'll be there.
Johnson hits 2 free throws. The Suns lead for the first time.
Wennington. All of a sudden, he can't hit. Here comes Phoenix. From the corner, no. Barkley with another rebound. He is playing with some purpose tonight. A.C. Green, in his 775th straight game, gets two.
Oh, beautiful patience. Excellent pass by KJ finding AC. I was going to say KC.
Take you back to your Celtic days, huh? 9 assists for Johnson. The lead is 4.
Why don't these guys get real names, Vern, instead of these initials?
After a 1 of 8 start in the quarter, Pippen gets 2, and the lead is 2. Johnson, yes!
When KJ's hitting that shot, Vern, he's unstoppable. You got to try to defend the perimeter, and if he hits that 15-footer, which he was not able to do in Chicago, then he's very difficult to stop.
Wesley Person. Is this on Wennington? It might be. Or is it Ron Harper? Time has been called. Michael Finley grew up with his 2 older sisters in the family of Bertha Finley, Maywood, Illinois, where he started Proviso East and where he papered his bedroom with posters of Michael Jordan. Had a stellar career at the University of Wisconsin, and look, Danny, at the defensive job he's done on Michael Jordan tonight.
Michael Finley is an intelligent, complete basketball player, Vern. And growing up in Chicago, all his family, everybody in Chicago, all his ex-teammates, they're all going, they don't know who to root for. The Bulls, he still has Bulls signs up in his house. They don't know who to root for. Michael Finley of the Chicago Bulls, but Michael's doing it at both ends of the floor.
4-year starter for the Badgers in Madison, where he was a teammate of Rashard Griffith, and what a night he's having tonight. Wesley Person, no. He gets another chance. Phoenix 12 of 16 from the line tonight.
Wesley hasn't scored in the game yet. He gets his first point right there, Vern. They could really use a shot in the arm with some outside shooting from Wesley if they could get a transition game going here.
Averaging 13, so it's unusual for him to blank this long. Largest lead of the night, 5 points. Harper, Jordan, Rodman, Pippen, and Wennington. Michael Jordan. In and out. A.C. Green with a rebound. Jordan is now 4 of 14 from the field. Finley!
I'd like to be in the city of Chicago right now in Bertha Finley's house, seeing her rookie son go at the Bulls to start this game.
Wennington, A.C. Green jumped in. Ron Harper, in and out. Rodman with the putback, short. Rebound, A.C. Green, loose ball foul. I think they got Wennington. That's 5.
Well, right here, Scottie Pippen knows Michael's not a good shooter. He's a great going to the basket. Not very good defense by Scottie Pippen. That's just lack of concentration right there.
Luke Longley, of course, is on the injured list. James Edwards, Buddha, at 40 years of age, is the backup center for the Bulls, and Bill Jackson has made no move toward him yet.
Well, he can go with Tony Kukoc because the Suns aren't playing with a center. A.C. Green is the biggest guy on the court right now, so he might counter with Tony Kukoc or even a small lineup.
And as if to give you an answer, here comes Steve Kerr.
We'll see who Steve Kerr's coming in for. He usually comes in for Harper or Jordan, but he might be coming in for Wennington.
Orlando leading Sacramento. They are undefeated at home. Steve Kerr waits, and Kevin Johnson is at the line. This is tonight's GMC scoreboard. Remember to catch all the sports highlights on CNN Sports tonight at 11 o'clock. Now here comes Kukoc to join Steve Kerr. Harper sits and Wennington sits.
Well, they brought in Kukoc to play center. Actually, Rodman will probably play defensive center. Actually, there's no center out there. We got a a bunch of forwards, small forwards and guards on the court for both teams, with Dennis Rodman and Charles Barkley, the biggest guys on the court.
The lead is 9. A 13-2 Phoenix run. Chicago comes in, obviously not having lost 2 games in a row this year. They lost Sunday night in Denver. Here's Pippen. Off the glass and in.
Good help by the Suns, but they couldn't get there. They don't have any shot blockers in the interior. Charles at 6'4" was the last line of defense, and Pippen at 6'8" with long arms jumped right over it.
Finley, guarded by Kukoc, takes it over him. Nope. Pippen fights for the rebound and has it for the Bulls. That's 5 for Scottie Pippen. Leaves it for Jordan. He's been cold, 4 of 14. Finley doing a wonderful defensive job on Jordan tonight. The help comes on Pippen from AC Green. That leaves Kukoc open. Passes on the 3. A beautiful entry pass, and Michael Jordan will shoot free throws.
Beautiful pass by Tony Kukoc. He had the wide open 3, hesitated maybe because he just got in the game, but his patience led to an easy basket by Jordan right here. He can shoot it. He's got all day to shoot it. They're not rotating. Finally, his patience pays off. Jordan makes a beautiful flash. Finley gets away with a foul. Could have been a 3-point play.
Jordan shoots 2.
It's been a long road trip for Chicago. Michael's showing the effects right now. But Vern, he's not one to give up. He doesn't like the fact that a rookie is having a better offensive game than him.
Misses both. And he's an 84% free throw shooter. Finley, guarded by Kukoc. The double comes from Steve Kerr. Green gets it back in the hands of Finley. It's stripped away and knocked out of bounds. 7 on the shot clock.
Well, they feel like they have an advantage with Finley trying to go by Kukoc. But Kukoc is a better perimeter defender than he is post defender. So this is a good matchup for Kukoc.
Tipped away by Michael. Up and fouled on Kevin Johnson. Michael Jordan has missed his last 9 from the field. That was a bit of a prayer, that shot.
Well, he lost his balance. He had to extend so much energy to go get that ball and beat KJ down the court. He lost his balance a little bit. Fortunately, got the foul. KJ and the Suns fans did not feel that was a foul, but it looked like there was contact there.
I don't think Phil Jackson is unnerved by all this.
And they were down 31 the other night and they came back.
Right.
What's 6 points?
Well, to give you an idea, to put this in perspective, oops, technical foul. No, it's not. Yep, they got Rodman. Now they're even. I'm guessing it was impolite language.
I think it was. I don't think it was. I think him and AC were just bumping each other. Dennis doesn't do a lot of talking to the officials. They just were bumping each other. He was antagonizing AC. He didn't want to get anything started, so Bernhardt called the technical foul. He's been asking for one all night. Him and Charles, I don't think they can play a big game without getting one. I think they think that's part of the game.
Now the secret is to keep from getting another. Here's Johnson, who missed the technical, and his foul.
Dennis knows better. Dennis knows better. He's staying away from it. Michael Finley's trying to start something.
Kevin Johnson may have pulled his hamstring.
Oh, no, don't even say that.
Watch this,
Here,
Danny.
he explodes to the basket. He's in the air. Oh, no. Oh, no, I don't like that face for KJ. He's worked so hard. He was doing 3 workouts a day for the past 2 weeks with the strength and conditioning coach, Robin Pound, just so we can come back and play.
Missed 20 earlier in the season. Gets the free throw.
You know, Vern, when you get those injuries, sometimes they just never go away. And KJ's going to have to deal with that the rest of his career. You just hope it's not so bad. It looks like you probably will have to come out of the game here pretty soon.
He has played every minute tonight, but he's limping noticeably as he goes back to midcourt.
They got a foul. They got to make a foul.
There's the foul. AC Green and Johnson will leave.
They got to get KJ out. That's too bad, Vern, because that's not just out for the rest of the game. That may be another couple weeks for KJ.
Joe Brodsky, the trainer, who's been here since the second year of the franchise, headed toward the locker room with Kevin Johnson.
But you know what, Vern? This is the good news. Elliot Perry. Elliot Perry has worked harder than anybody came out of the CBA. Nobody outworks Elliot Perry in the NBA. A guy the fans love, and he's played very well for the Suns. And the bottom line is, Charles, Wesley, Finley, Manning, everybody has all the confidence in the world in Elliot Perry.
Kevin Johnson goes to the locker room with 20 points and 10 assists and no turnovers tonight. He had played every minute. Barkley is still on the floor. Here's Jordan over Finley. Got it finally. You knew you couldn't silence the big cannon all night long.
No, he's going to get it going at some time during this game. You know, Vern, you have to wonder if all those minutes KJ played hasn't been out of the game yet. That's when you have injuries, when you extend your minutes and extend all that energy.
Here's Barkley over Rodman. Yes! Barkley is 11 of 13 from the field.
I think that's his longest shot, too. Usually by now he'd have attempted 3 or 4 threes. I think Cotton has told him, I want you to score inside, Charles. Get some offensive rebounds.
They sandwich Perry, the shot from way outside. Michael Jordan.
Uh-oh.
He's got 16. Elliot Perry, 3:10 to go, third quarter. The lead is 5 for Phoenix. They trail by 16 in the second quarter. At one point, if you can imagine this team lost 6 in a row at home. Now they have fought back. They're 4 under 500. They're trying to right the ship. They've won 6 of their last 9, and they lead by 5 here.
Dennis, I feel like I can control, because I feel like if he tries to guard me, I can score if they don't double. And I feel like he's going to get some rebound, because that's all he does. But the main thing, I think you just have to keep him in his place and not let him go crazy and get emotional into the game.
You know, Vern, he told me, he went a little further. He said, I think Dennis Rodman's overrated. He can't score and he can't defend me. So, you know, I think that Charles just thinks that Dennis Rodman's a very good player, but he doesn't think that he's a superstar that everybody makes him out to be ever since he came to Chicago.
Think Rodman belongs in the All-Star game?
Absolutely. He's the 3rd best player on a team that's 41-4 for that reason alone.
How about that? Barkley loves that. He caused Jordan to pick up the foul with 1 second on the shot clock. No! Is it on Jordan or is it not? Yes, it is. That's 4 on Michael. Well, Barkley had a huge smile after that one.
Well, Michael's not very happy because Charles initiated all the contact. He got Jordan up in the air, and he just tried to find Michael in the air. A player has the right to jump in the air, and Charles initiated all the contact right there. See, right here, Charles jumps in the air. Jordan's way out there. Charles doesn't even go into the basket. He's just jumping towards Michael, who's on the other side of him. I don't know about that call, Vern.
Don't either.
But I told you, Charles is a great actor. He fooled Dick Bavetta that time.
Back to a 7-point bonus for the Suns. Chicago 19-4 on the road this year. That's better than the home records of all but 3 teams. Just to give you a little perspective, and there's Kukoc from Pippen.
Well, it looked like Cotton told AC to go out and double the ball because Jordan started to get hot. But Charles didn't know that AC was going to go double the ball. He was so in tune with boxing out Rodman that Kukoc snuck in for a wide open layup.
Barkley fights for it. Takes Rodman. Offensive foul. It's heavy theater.
These guys love it. I tell you one thing. Neither one can intimidate the other.
Here comes Scottie Well, there's oh boy, they got Barkley.
You know, maybe that was that shot Charles was talking about, but both officials down there had both eyes. There were 4 eyes watching that. There's no way, Charles. You got to pick your spots. But maybe Charles wants Dennis to go to the free throw line and embarrass himself.
There wasn't anything exactly subtle about that.
No, it wasn't subtle. Charles, again, I don't think he can play a game without doing those things. That's just his way of playing.
Rodman, who hits only 55% from the free throw line, then compliments the hostility by canning the free throw.
Well, Charles, Tisdale checked in for Charles. He stayed at the free throw line for an extra 10 seconds. He's glaring at Cotton all the way. Cotton saying, sit down. When you run this team, then you can play as much as you want.
First time Barkley has sat tonight. He gave Rodman an elbow in the ribs, and the lead is 3. Tisdale fights Rodman, and Rodman picks up the foul. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Kevin Johnson is in the locker room where he's being treated for what's called a sore hamstring. Now, too early to speculate, but this is not the injury that has him sidelined for most of the early part of this year. That was a groin and thigh injury. The word is that he may come back, but probably will not. They, at this point, do not think it is serious. It's not a reoccurring injury.
Okay, Craig, but Danny, I mean, a hamstring is a hamstring, right?
And Vern, it might not be the one that he just had, but it's one that he's had problems with in the past, and that is a scary injury. Probably more scarier than the quadricep or the groin that he's had problems recently. That hamstring he's had problems with, and he has a history of that.
Rodman will rest. Wennington comes in with 5 fouls. Rodman has 4. And it's a 5-point lead, 73-68. So let's check it now. Kukoc, Wennington, Kerr, Pippen, and Jordan. Wesley Person guards Pippen underneath Kukoc. No. AC Green.
Beautiful rotation by AC right there. That's something that Charles wasn't doing, getting involved in the rotation.
Elliott Perry finds Person, who misses on the 3. At the other end, here's Pippen for 2.
That was a beautiful pass by Tony Kukoc looking up. Wesley Person did not see the ball. Scottie Pippen just outreached him for it the last second and dunked on him. You gotta make him shoot the free throws on that when you're not in foul trouble.
Here's Tisdale. The double comes from Steve Kerr, who has the steal. And a chance to pull within 1 or tie. Pippen loses control. Phoenix ball.
And Michael Finley again. Beautiful defensive play by Finley. Tisdale's trying to take advantage of Kukoc. He still has some payback for the first half of embarrassing him on the perimeter. That time Kukoc did a good job of slapping the ball away. But Tisdale's their main offense right now. He's the guy they got to go to. He's the guy they got to create shots for with Charles and KJ out of the game.
Back to Perry. Finley top of the key. Entry pass. Up. No good. Foul call.
Kukoc cannot defend him down there. There's just no way. They have to double team. The Suns are very patient. They swing it back around after the double team leaves, and Kukoc doesn't want to get embarrassed down there trying to steal the ball. Tisdale has the biggest butt in the NBA. And there's no way Kukoc can get around. You don't have to measure him, Vern. You can just look at it. And that's what makes him an effective low-post player.
I would hope so. It also gives him a lot of room on the airplane.
Well, it turns that 6'8" body into about a 7-foot body because you can't get to him.
4-point lead. At one point in the first half, Chicago was up by 16. We were tied 50 all at halftime. Phoenix is led by as many as 9. Here's Wennington, takes the jumper, doesn't go. And there's a foul at the free throw line. Foul is on number 4, Michael Finley.
Well, right now, the Suns are at a big disadvantage because they got mismatches all over the court. Anybody on Michael's a mismatch. Pippen's posting up Wesley Person, much taller, much stronger down on the low post. You got Tisdale guarding Kukoc out on the perimeter. Pick your poison, Chicago. They need to hold ground right here, the Phoenix Suns do until Danny Manning can at least get back in the game. Charles finds that air ball amusing by Scottie Pippen. I don't think Scottie thinks it's too amusing.
Jason Caffey is on the floor wearing number 52. Recall that his jersey was ripped by Danny Manning in the first half of play. And they got Kukoc in the backcourt. That's his third foul.
Well, nobody on the team is number 52, Vern. They must be saving that guy for some 10-day contract if somebody comes in.
I'm looking at Phil Jackson. I was over at a local bookstore today in Rochemont Hotel. There's 52, Jason Caffey. There was Jackson's book on sale. Doing very well, Phil Jackson's. There were 2 books about Michael Jordan. And then there was 2 books by Charles Barkley. Now, where was yours? I looked for it.
I'm not ready for that, Vern.
I was going to shell out money for it, Danny.
Hey, maybe after another year of this, I'll be able to write it.
Elliot Perry with one more. The lead is 5 with 27 seconds to go. Chicago has trailed at the end of 3 in each of its 4 defeats. They've also trailed at the end of 3 in 5 of their wins. Pippen. Short. Here comes Perry. It's good if it goes.
That was beautiful defense right there by Wesley Person on Scottie Pippen.
There's a playoff atmosphere here in Phoenix. Back to the final quarter in a moment. Back in the beautiful city of Phoenix, the NBA on TNT, a Tuesday night encounter between the Chicago Bulls, who come in 41-4, and the Phoenix Suns, who are 20-24. The All-Star break coming up, and Saturday, February 10th, we'll bring you the rookie game. Men like Joe Smith will play in it, Damon Stoudemire, another of those who will participate. How about Tyus Edney? He's having a terrific season.
One of the best well-kept secrets in the NBA this year.
And Jerry Stackhouse and Michael Finley will also be there. So far tonight, 14 points, 3 rebounds, and a stellar defensive job thus far on Michael Jordan.
And Vern, his overall game, he may be the best of all the rookies. I'm not saying that he is yet. There's still a lot of time left in this rookie season, but he may be. He has to be considered one of the best rookies in the league this year, the way he's consistently played both ends of the court.
Barkley's back on the floor now. He sat for a couple of minutes after the elbow in the ribs of Dennis Rodman. Here's Wesley Person. Barkley with the screen. And the ball is picked off by Tony Kukoc.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see, Vern, how much Chicago has left. It's been a long road trip, a big emotional tour, trying to go for all these records in the NBA. It'll be interesting to see what kind of stamina they have left in the 4th quarter of the last game of a long road trip.
Barkley with his 15th rebound tonight. Person to Barkley. He's also 11 of 14 from the field, but he turns it over. Here comes Kukoc. Kerr, Barkley on him. That's a mismatch. Pippen feeds Rodman. Finger roll.
Well, there's no interior defense by either team. No shot blockers on the court right now. You can get to the rim if you can break down the defense. Right now, Phoenix has to double team because they still have mismatches all over the court. Same with Chicago. They can't defend Barkley or Tisdale one-on-one in the low post.
Tisdale misses that. Here comes Pippen. He feeds Kukoc. Kerr for 3. No. AC Green has the rebound. That's 7 for AC Green. Elliot Perry, Sox has it. Double on Barkley.
That's a triple on Barkley.
Yes, it is. Perry. Got it!
That's amazing. Elliot Perry, since KJ's come back, his minutes have dwindled and dwindled, game in and game out. But because of the success that he's had when KJ was gone, he still has a lot to drive, left out hanging. Right there, Ron Harper's trying to defend, he's trying to defend Harper on the perimeter. Here they got 3 guys defending Charles. The whole team's out there. Someone's got to be wide open with that kind of defense.
Ron Harper goes to the free throw line after the foul on Tisdale. Oh, boy, that was ugly. That looked like the last free throw on a long road trip.
These guys are tired, Vern. There's no question about it. But, you know, Michael's over there getting a pretty good rest. I'm surprised we haven't seen Danny Manning yet and when he's going to come back in the game. He must be riding that bike, and he's not ready yet.
Elliot Perry, 9:49 remaining in this one. Chicago winds up the road trip tomorrow night at Golden State. Then the All-Star break, of course. Phoenix is at home here on Thursday. From the corner. Oh, my!
You got to be kidding me. Vern, the guy's only 6'4". He shot it over 2 guys bigger.
He's 12 of 15 from the field.
Oh, my God.
Now he's going to go. Of 60. Pippen is fouled. This equals the largest lead of the game for Phoenix. Watch Barkley.
He's got 3 guys around him again. Kukoc and Pippen. Both guys. I mean, that's incredible, Vern. That guy's on a mission tonight. He wants this game so bad. The only way he's not going to get it is if he just doesn't have the stamina to carry this team on his back the last 8 minutes of the game.
Scottie Pippen quiets the crowd for the moment. Finley's back in. I'm not sure who Charles was more upset with, Rodman or Denver, for winning the game Sunday night. He really wanted Chicago in here with a 19-game win streak.
Yes, he did.
The lead is 7, 8:50 to go. Tisdale. Helping defense doesn't do it. Here's Perry. Got it.
Boy, he's a spark plug to this whole crowd. The crowd loves Elliot Perry. They call him Socks for the way he wears the socks. Also, they do the Roadrunner beat. You know, that dude Deion Sanders commercial. I thought Elliot Perry deserved that one.
Kukoc, yes.
Chicago's hanging in there, Vern. All the while, Michael's just resting over there, ready to make his approach back in the game.
Michael getting ready to reappear now. For the night, 6 of 16 from the field and 16 points. But all in all, he has had to battle Michael Finley. And Charles Barkley, 13 of 16, 15 rebounds and 30 points. Perry guarded by Kerr. Here's Finley guarded by Ron Harper.
Well, Charles has had an incredible game. You just wonder how much he's got left. I think it's going to come down to Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, how they can carry their teams.
How appropriate would that be? And Barkley is called for the trip. That's 4 on Charles Barkley. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
The Phoenix Suns locker room was pretty busy. Kevin Johnson, of course, went in there to get traded. Danny Manning left the court, and he had a wrap on his left knee. I got worried, went in there. He said he was just warming up, getting ready to come back. All heated up here in the 4th quarter for the stretch run.
All right, Danny, who had 22 points in 25 minutes in the overtime game in Washington, has been limited to 2 minutes tonight. And he's back on the floor right now. So it's Manning and Perry, AC Green, Michael Finley, and Barkley. That's for Phoenix. Here's Kukoc.
That's a tough matchup for Phoenix. AC Green can't defend him on the perimeter either. That's one of AC's weaknesses. He's been a power forward with the Lakers, with the Suns. Now they're trying to get him to play some small forward because of Barkley. He's not good at defending the perimeter.
Manning. From Finley. The lead is 7.
Other than Barkley's prayer three-pointer over the double team, I think that's the first time they've made a perimeter shot all night.
Ron Harper. Oh, boy. worked hard for it, shielded his body, got the basket to fall, and will shoot a free throw.
Well, and that's why you need a shot blocker in the game, and why the game is so much easier with a big man in there. Unfortunately, the Suns don't have one, but they're double teaming the perimeter. Danny Manning recognizes AC Green cannot handle him. Unfortunately, nobody's defending the basket. Harper makes a good finish.
Air ball. What is it about that free throw line?
I don't know. None of that is ugly. They may be tired both physically and mentally. I don't care if you're tired physically. You should never shoot one like that. I think I could hit the rim sitting in a chair with no legs.
After the game is over, we might test you. Chicago has no fouls in this quarter. And they will shoot the penalty the last 7 minutes of the game. Here's Barkley. The double team comes from Kukoc. He goes baseline and finds Finley. And the foul is going to be called. 3-second violation. 16 turnovers thus far in the ball game. And here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Michael Jordan, 16 points and 1 rebound. 6 and 16. Barkley, 30 points, 15 rebounds, almost perfect shooting. And the latest in the paint, how's this for an additional paint job? The Gorilla. I'll tell you what, Danny, there are a lot of really bad mascots around the country. This guy is the best.
I think he's the original best one. When I was an opposing player playing with the Celtics, we used to not even watch the coach in the huddle. We were all busy watching the Gorilla.
Boy, he is terrific.
Hey, Vern, one factor here we have is the Bulls have no team fouls, and they're already in the penalty. 14 fouls by the Suns, and next time the Bulls go to the free throw line, although I'm not sure that's an advantage the way they've been shooting free throws.
Yeah, they gotta realize that they gotta hit the basket. Danny Manning gets it. 6.5 to go. Jordan has 4 turnovers in the ball game. Barkley over Rodman, missed. Chases down the loose ball. Chicago ball. Well, we got 6:13 to go. Let's check who's on the floor now. Ron Harper, Steve Kerr, Kukoc, Rodman, and Jordan. Scottie Pippen getting ready to come back in. Kevin Johnson in the locker room with a pulled hamstring muscle. Elliott Perry, Finley, Manning, Barkley, and AC Green. Here's Jordan.
I was just going to say, Vern, before you were talking, this is Michael's time of the game. And sure enough, he explodes to the basket. And I'll be surprised if Michael goes down without a big fight right here.
67% of the quarter for Chicago, 57 in this quarter. Only 2 teams, among the other attributes that Chicago brings, give you an idea of how well they defend, only 2 teams this season have shot better than 50% against the latest being Denver Sunday night.
Well, and not having Luke Longley has hurt a little bit on that percentage because they're both scoring a lot of points in the paint.
Kerr feeds Jordan, who'll shoot free throws.
And the crowd, Charles has got a little taste of his own medicine. After the play, Jordan pushed Charles away, and the crowd screaming. They think that there should be a foul. They don't realize Charles does that every time.
Michael Jordan at the free throw line.
It's contagious, Vern.
One of 2. Well, we mentioned the turnovers. He's also got 3 steals tonight. And a 1-point game. Perry over Kerr from the corner. Got it.
Boy, Elliott Perry's been huge in this 4th quarter, keeping the Suns on top.
8 points and a 3-point lead. 5:20 to go. Jordan off the dribble over Finley. Yes.
Uh-oh, Vern. We saw him the other night, 23 in the third quarter against Denver. He's been saving it for this time of the game.
Well rested. Here's Manning over Kukoc. That brings Phil Jackson to his feet.
Frustrated with Tony's defense. He let a guy dribble in. He's not real quick right now, coming back off the knee injury. Get a wide open 15-footer.
Michael Jordan is at the last 6 for the Bulls. That's off the mark, but Finley has got the foul. And that's 5 on Michael Finley.
Well, Michael's complaining, but it looked like he got a piece of him. He might have got a piece of the ball, too. Let's see, Bert. He's got pretty good position on him. He elevates. He definitely got him on the arm.
That puts Michael Jordan back at the free throw line where he's 6 of 9 tonight.
That's going to hurt. They need Michael Finley in the game, Vern. He's been an excellent defender the whole game. When Michael scored, with the exception of the one drive, he's kept him out on the perimeter. The Suns don't have anybody else that can contain him.
Back to a 1-point margin with 4:41 to go. Elliott Perry with 8 in this quarter. Gets the pick from Danny Manning and then gets the return pass. Oh, is that pretty?
Well, I said earlier, Danny Manning can hit those perimeter shots. That makes it tough. That's the one weak part of his game. Michael Finley's out.
That's 6.
They got to come back in with Wesley Person for the offensive end, but Wesley can't defend Michael Jordan.
Well, it was a wonderful, wonderful night for Michael Finley, but he fouls out for the first time in his 45 games in the NBA.
He had a terrific game. That's a tough chore, guarding Michael for that long, especially as aggressive as Michael's been in this fourth quarter. But he'll learn from that, Vern. He can't go out and defend Michael 30 feet away from the basket and afford those cheap fouls.
That puts Jordan back on the line. And again, Wennington with 5. Finley is out. Barkley has 5.
And KJ's out. So KJ can't come in. But KJ did a good job on Michael in Chicago, but they don't have him as well.
1 of 2 again for Jordan, who is now 9 of 13. And he has scored the last 9 Chicago points. A 2-point lead for Phoenix, trying to even the season series against the Bulls and hand them their first back-to-back defeats of the season and only their 5th of the year. Save, 22nd timeout.
But, Vern, there's only 1 second left on the shot clock. That might have been a waste time timeout.
It is a full timeout, not a 20, called by Danny Manning.
No batter, no batter, no batter, no batter. No stick. Swing batter. Home baby, home baby.
If your next meal might be some time off, remember, nothing.
Back at America West Arena in Phoenix, a sellout crowd really enjoying this one. And if you just tuned in, you've missed a heck of a battle. Charles Barkley, 13 of 17 so far. Against Dennis Rodman, he has been 9 of 13 for 20 points. Pippen, 2 of 2. Dickey Simpkins, 2 of 2. He's been double-teamed 17 times. But he looks a little tired, Danny.
He's got 0 rebounds, Vern, in the fourth quarter. That's an indication they're spending a lot of time double-teaming him. Oh, Rodman's mad again. They called the rebound over the backboard, so he doesn't get credit for the rebound.
Right.
He was telling Ralph, no, it didn't. That didn't go over the backboard.
Rodman has 13 rebounds tonight. Barkley, 15. Vern Lundquist, Danny Ainge, Greg Sager. Here's Jordan. Well, he went 0 for 8 for a stretch early in the quarter in the latter part of the third. He's now hit his last 5 shots.
I don't like this, Vern. Danny Manning is going to try to defend Jordan, and that is a big-time mismatch.
Now, you got to remember, you're retired.
I know it.
But it's hard to separate yourself from what they want, isn't it, Danny? I mean, they're trying so hard tonight to get this thing back on track. Here's Phil Jackson.
top it all off, Manning has to go to the sideline. He's bleeding. Maybe they can do it quick, but if they have to take him out, they're going to have to go with one of the rookies or Tony Smith.
Tied at 93, and Manning heads toward Joe Prosky. And Phoenix takes a timeout. Michael Jordan has hit the last 11 Chicago points.
Vern, this is his time of the game. That's why I love Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is a superstar, a fantastic player, an MVP candidate even. He's one of the best players in all of basketball, but this is Michael's team. In spite of what Michael says, this is Michael's team. And the reason is because the last 6 minutes of the game is his. And that's what separates the two of them.
Well, Phoenix, as we said, if the playoffs were to be held tonight, would not be in. Here are the top 8 teams in the Western Conference. Seattle leading the way. A real horse race in the Midwest Division. San Antonio, Utah, and Houston. The Lakers coming on now. Golden State has the edge over Phoenix by a game.
I think LA with Magic coming back will move up a little bit, maybe ahead of Houston. Although Houston is a playoff team, we all know, and I think that Phoenix is going to move up there into the 7th seed ahead of Portland and Golden State, unless KJ's out for another long period of time. That could make a big difference for them. But I believe that Portland will stay in the playoff race, and I think Phoenix will overtake Golden State for that 8th seed.
Michael Jordan, the last 11 points. And we are tied at 93 with 3:31 to go. And Danny Manning was patched up and is back in the game. AC Green, Perry, Barkley, Manning, and Person. Got it!
You can see how important Danny Manning is to this team. He's hit the big buckets for them down the stretch. The other night in Washington, only a 2nd game back, he was the go-to guy in the 4th quarter.
Now he guards Jordan. And Michael Jordan misses for the first time in his last 6 shots.
Awful easy shot for Michael. He's going to be able to get good looks at the basket every time against Danny Manning.
Manning guarded by Pippen. Now here's Barkley with Rodman on him. Illegal defense. That's the first. That's the warning.
Charles right now is telling Elliott Perry and Wesley Person, the perimeter guys, hey, when I'm double teamed, you guys got to make yourself available. They're hiding on the weak side. They need to continue to cut. They should want to take that shot. That's the green light to shoot.
Now Barkley goes to the post-up position. Rodman, here comes a double from Kukoc. He goes baseline and is fouled by Rodman.
Well, I didn't think I'd see that from Dennis Rodman. That's what we talked about before the game. Dennis Rodman, they had the double team coming, and he allowed Barkley to go away from the double team.
That's 5 fouls on Rodman. And Barkley goes to the free throw line, where tonight he is 3 of 4 for the season, 75%, so he's right on his average. That was the first free throw attempted in the quarter by Phoenix. Barkley has one more.
Those are huge, Vern. He's got to get one. They got to keep scoring because you can't count on Danny Manning to shut down Michael Jordan.
1 of 2. The lead is 3. 2:45 to go.
You know, they got other mismatches, though. Scottie Pippen, Wesley Person's guarding him. And Tony Kukoc has shown that he can take advantage of AC Green as well.
Jordan off the dribble, Manning with the foul.
Well, Michael missed the last open shot. I don't think he was going to settle. Danny Manning is a smart defensive player. He can't defend Jordan on the perimeter. He's got to concede the outside shot. He tries to back off, but he's still not quick enough to handle Michael.
That puts Jordan back on the line, where he has missed 4 and hit 9 tonight. Oh, boy.
Now maybe Manning knew what he was doing. Keep the Bulls on the line.
There has to be a magnetic field over that basket. Bulls are 20 of 29 from the line. And again, he missed them both. When was the last time you saw Michael Jordan miss 2 free throws twice in a quarter?
Bird, it happens to the best of them. Larry Bird, I think the best free throw shooter of all time, maybe next to Rick Barry. I even saw him do it on occasion.
Over the back by Barkley. It'll be Chicago ball. 2:15 remaining. The lead remains 3.
A lot of times it can be fatigue, and a lot of times it can just be mental, like missing putts in golf. You know, you just don't think you're ever going to make one when you miss that easy one.
Time has been called. Sellout crowd here in Phoenix and a lot of young Bulls fans. And of course, Chicago with Michael Jordan's return has become not only perhaps the most popular team in this country, but throughout the world. The league office was telling a story about David Stern. On a trip to China a couple of years ago, he through passport control, offered his passport to the control officer. The man said, "Ah, Mr. Stern, NBA." And David Stern said, "Yes, I do work with the NBA." He said, "Ah, favorite team, Red Oxen of Chicago."
Oh, they are known worldwide, Vern. Every time I go do camps overseas, every kid is wearing Air Jordans and wearing Michael Jordan's jersey, and it's been going on for 10 years.
Well, the Red Oxen trail the Suns by 3 with 2:10 to go.
Well, it'll be interesting to see which matchup they are going to try to exploit. Jordan, Kukoc, or Pippen.
Here's Jordan in the low post, gets the entry pass. He's guarded by Manning. Takes the fade away. No. The tap is good.
Dennis Rodman again. You know, that was pretty good defense by by Danny Manning on Michael Jordan. He forced Michael to the free throw line where he can't make a shot.
There's the tip from Rodman. And a foul was called. No, it's given to Scottie Pippen. Beg your pardon. And Dick Levetta's over at the scorer's table. I'm not sure what the explanation is of the delay here.
Wasn't that tip in by Dennis Rodman right
I thought it was, and they say Pippen. They're giving it to Pippen.
Well, even the scorers don't like Dennis Rodman. Rodman says, "Give Pippen the points, but give me the offensive rebound."
1-point game, 1:45 remaining.
They're really trying to go to Barkley right now. Barkley has not scored but 1 point in the last 7 minutes and only 1 rebound in the last 7 minutes. That's been a pattern, Vern, of this Phoenix team. Charles has carried this team in a lot of first 3 quarters, but he has trouble scoring at this time of the game simply because teams, when he gets 30 points in the first 3 quarters, defend him different. They start doubling him immediately, and it makes the other guys step up. Danny Manning has stepped up. Elliot Perry has stepped up. They've been able to score, but they haven't been able to stop the Bulls.
Coming up next on Inside the NBA, Ernie Johnson and Cheryl Miller will have scores and highlights from all of tonight's action. And they'll take a close look at John Stockton's pursuit of the all-time NBA steals record. That's a minute 44 from now.
Right here again, Chicago has mismatches all over the court. I think they're going to continue to exploit the Michael Jordan mismatch. You got the best offensive player in the world against a big mismatch, even though they have other ways to go. Michael, I'm surprised if they put him back in the post like they did last. I think that they'll go to Michael on the perimeter and see if he can use his quickness to go by Danny Manning.
Manning guards Jordan, and Jordan blows by Manning. He went to his left. Manning leaned to his left and had to foul him.
Yeah, Danny Manning is not a great perimeter defender before his injury. He hasn't played basketball for a year, and you're asking him to go out on the perimeter to defend Michael Jordan. On the other hand, Cotton doesn't have any choice. He has to. I'm a little bit surprised they're not going into a half-court trap. And Vern, all they have to do is send him to that free throw line. That's the best defense they've had here in the 4th quarter. It's the only way they can stop the Bulls.
He has missed his last 4.
I wish he would punt this bad when I punted against him.
Finally ends the streak, and we're tied at 96 with 90 seconds to go.
Well, Phoenix is going to run pick and roll for Danny Manning or dump the ball to Charles.
Perry, foul by Kerr.
You know, that just shows you the confidence that Cotton has in his backup point guard. He played in 15 minutes. Was the most he's played since KJ came back. And yet here we got a tied score against the best team in the world, and you're given the ball to Elliot Perry to create a shot for himself. That's ultimate confidence, not only Elliot himself, but what Cotton has in Elliot.
Perry at the line. He's 2 of 2 tonight, 76% for the season.
Well, I think that's Cotton's hope right now, Vern. He's just got to continue to score and hope that they can stay ahead. They're having trouble defending anybody on the Bulls team right now, but they have to continue to score each possession.
Two-point Phoenix lead. Here's Jordan again. They switch defensively. That leaves Pippen open. Kukoc spots up for 3. They are 1 of 10 from three-point range in the game.
Well, that's not bad defense, though. They took away the penetration of Jordan. They flooded the paint, and they made Tony Kukoc hit the 3. They haven't been hitting them all night.
Perry.
How big is Elliot Perry?
We're back where the score says 101-96. It's not really. It's 100-96. Here was Kukoc spotting up for the 3. He missed. And at the other end.
Right here, Elliot Perry's coming up. He's all over the line. As you can see, his feet are way over the line. They originally gave him 3 points, but I think they changed it back to 2, and that was a good call by the officials. He was way over that line.
So it's a 4-point edge now with 15.6 seconds remaining. Elliot Perry, 15 minutes and 12 points.
Oh, he's been huge, Vern. And the confidence. I mean, can you imagine? He just comes down and pulls up and shoots what he thought was a 3. Takes Steve Kerr out one-on-one. Got a good look the time before. He's come up huge. Again, right here, Michael Jordan, they're going to try to get a quick 2 if they can and penetrate. If they don't, if they stop Michael's penetration, Pippen or Kukoc or Kerr's got to hit that 3.
Kukoc can't inbound the ball.
Well, Michael Jordan ran away from the ball. Pippen needed to get it. They wanted to get the ball to Pippen and have him swing the ball to Jordan. Pippen didn't work very hard to get open on that. They had to waste the timeout.
Well, we hope you'll be with us tomorrow night on TBS, a doubleheader in the NBA. We tip it off with the Orlando Magic on the road, where they have been something less than splendid this season. And they go to Detroit. And then game 2, the New Jersey Nets take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Magic and the Lakers out at the Forum in LA, the second half of the doubleheader. Timeouts remaining in this one. Chicago has 1 left. Phoenix 2. Neither team has a 20, and both are in the
Well,
middle.
that one timeout, Vern, that can become critical if they allow Phoenix to score anymore. They don't have enough timeouts to stop the clock and move the ball up the court. With only 1 there, they had to waste that one. The Suns have been able to exploit the inside game, or the inside or lack of inside defense by Chicago. Chicago's been able to do the same thing, but the difference in this game is the free throw line. Chicago has struggled from the free throw line all night long. They've missed 11 free throws. Michael Jordan's missed how many? 5 or 6 in this 4th quarter, Vern.
And he's 10 of 17 for the night. Phoenix 27 of 34, and there's Chicago 21 of 32. Jerry Colangelo looks on.
Chicago has to score here. Whether it's a 2 or a 3, they have to do something.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. Charles has done it all tonight.
Rodman chases down the loose ball. Takes the shot. Air ball. Barkley has it. Watch Charles Barkley with a steal.
That is a terrible inbounds pass. Terrible by the receiver and the passer. Beautiful play by Charles. He anticipated that all the way. He let Dennis Rodman believe that he was going to get the inbounds, concede the inbounds pass to Dennis at a burst of speed. I didn't think he had left in Vern with the amount of minutes he's played tonight, but he certainly did. That's the play of the game.
45 minutes, 14 of 19 from the field. And he's at the line.
Big for Phoenix. Not just the team. I think they've had confidence with Danny Manning and everybody coming back. But what it does for the city, they've been killing this team all year long. What's going on? Terrible trade in the offseason for Hot Rod Williams. Barkley's over the hill. He's talking about being traded. All the injuries. There's been nothing positive. This is the first real positive thing that's happened to the Suns all year long.
All-Star Weekend comes up this weekend from San Antonio, and among the highlights, the slam dunk contest. Harold Miner won it last year. And how about his teammate Glenn Rice from long distance?
Well, for the three-point shooters this year, there's a whole list of them, and it's very tough to pick a favorite. But I like Michael Finley in that dunk contest Saturday night. He's got a great leaping ability. He's the perfect size. He grew up watching Scottie and Michael, and I think that he'll probably have some creativity after watching those guys all those years.
Suns have scored the last 8 in the last minute and 2 seconds. Barkley with 4, Elliott Perry with 4. And the line on Charles for tonight, 45 minutes, 14 of 19 from the field, 16 rebounds, a total of 35 points.
Well, Bernie, Chicago's only way is to hit threes and hope the Suns miss their free throws. The only way the Suns lose this game is do something stupid, turn the ball over, or miss a lot of free throws.
And if this stands, it'll be the first time Chicago has been beaten back-to-back this year. It would be, there's the attempt for 3. Kukoc pulls up off the glass, no. Attempt, no. And Phoenix has it in the hands of Wesley Person. He's fouled by Judd Bushler, who's in there for three-point shooting.
Vern, this team goes 41-3 to start the season, and they lose 2 in a row. That just shows you about this NBA. It's tough. They ran into a very hot Denver team, and now they ran into a Phoenix Suns team with a lot of emotion. That's the battle they're going to have all year, Vern, trying to prove everybody's going to be trying to gun down this team.
Well, both teams with a rare day off yesterday, and Michael Jordan took Charles Barkley to the golf course and into the pocketbook. Michael Jordan shot 76, Barkley shot 81. I don't think Barkley minds losing that golf match at all.
I think they both cheated, Vern. With those scores.
The lead is 10. And this will be the first double-digit loss if the score stands. Back it goes to Kukoc for 3. Off the mark. Jordan saves it, takes it for 3 again. Off the mark. This one's over. The first time this season that the Chicago Bulls have lost by 10. Let's go to Craig Sager, who's with Charles Barkley.
Charles, a fabulous game and a playoff atmosphere. We asked at halftime to Cotton Fitzsimmons if you would be tired. What pulled you through?
Well, I knew Carl was going to give me tomorrow off. I told him I can feel my back spasming up. I'm not practicing tomorrow. You know, I just think, hey, Danny Manning stepped up, Elliott Perry stepped up, and that gave me a chance to rest. But this is a big win, and now we just got to go from here.
I talked to you this morning. You had your game face on at 9 o'clock. I talked to your wife. She said you were quiet all day. How big is it to go against the Bulls, and how big is it for you to beat Michael Jordan?
Well, not Michael. The Bulls are the best team in the NBA. They're very good. I thought when we played them last week, I don't think they're exceptional. They can be beat if you play well. They're going to have trouble with Indiana and Orlando or some other teams. They're going to walk through the regular season because, you know, with expansion and everything, we got a lot of bad teams. But they're not just going to cakewalk through the NBA like everybody thinks they are.
You carried Elliot Perry off the court. You can start wearing your socks like his sometime?
No, that's the ugly thing that's going out of style. But Elliot's my man. He stepped up big tonight when made 2 huge baskets, and that was the difference in the game, I think.
Well, Michael Finley was a rookie a little while ago, but he played tonight like a veteran. He's over now with Vernon Danny.
He did terrific, and I'm glad we got rid of Ainge to bring Finley in.
Perfect, but I got to tell you, Charles, tonight Danny was almost, he didn't say we, but it was close. And we've got Michael Finley with us. Michael, a really wonderful all-around game tonight. I know you were frustrated by the 6 fouls, but on the whole, you must be very gratified by the way you played tonight.
I'm exhausted right now, but I'm happy for myself and for my team. We came out and we executed the game plan. Coach had told me he wanted me to guard Jordan beginning of the game. I had a little jitters, but once the game kept going, I felt more comfortable out there.
I've got to ask you about your mom's home back in Maywood, Illinois, still your home, with your bedroom. You still got the posters of Michael up in the bedroom?
I hope they're not up there. No, I tore those down when the Phoenix Suns drafted me, but you know he's still a great player. He's still a player I looked up to.
Michael, the only negative thing that happened tonight was KJ. You know, he's had a history of injuries, and now that he's injured, what was the rallying point behind the team when KJ went out?
Well, when KJ went out, you know, we put our heads down, but at the same time, we had Elliot Perry coming off the bench to give us a lift. And I think when E came in the game, he took over right where KJ left off, and you know, you got to give your hat off to Elliot for stepping up when you're knocking down big shots.
Well, it was really a terrific effort defensively for you and as well as offensively tonight. Enjoy the All-Star break down in San Antonio, Michael.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Score the last 10 tonight. They win it 106-96. Back in a moment.